My name's Aurora, and I want to start with why I'm going and when God put this on my heart. When I was 14, I went to this summer camp with this church that I hadn't really been super familiar with, but I had gone with cousins, so I was like, I feel like I'm really supposed to go, and I don't know why, but I know it's Jesus. I know He wants me to go. I went to the camp, and on the first night, we found out that they were going to do a youth-led service at the very end, and they had they wanted everyone to volunteer for something. There was prayer group and worship team and someone to help set up chairs and stuff like that, including preaching, do a little message. And so there were a couple slots for that, and I turned to my cousin, we were joking, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I hated public speaking. I was joking around, I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be me. And it was kind of just funny, no way. And so as the week went by, I slowly started to put the sermon together in my mind. And I was thinking about how I would say it and what story I would bring up and how I would relate it to Jesus and all of this. And slowly I was I kind of want to do it. I've never wanted to do anything like this before. That's crazy. By the end, I was I want to do it, and there wasn't enough room for me, so I didn't end up doing it. But the fact that I still wanted to do it afterwards, and when I got home, I was still feeling that, and I knew it wasn't just the camp high, and I wasn't just feeling it because I was at camp and feeling pressured or anything. I knew it was Jesus. So I got back, and that year, after that summer camp, going into high school, we started being a part of a lot more worship nights and conferences and things where I just started experiencing Jesus differently than I have before. And I started getting all these words spoken over me that I was going to preach and going to be on stage. And it was really crazy because I had wanted to be a worship leader when I was in middle school. And so words over me that are different than just a worship leader, but going to be speaking was really crazy, and God really put that on my heart and built that up and gave me courage for that and excitement. I learned that Jesus is the one topic that I could talk about forever, so it's the easiest thing to speak about. I think I was okay, I guess I'm gonna do that. I don't know how, I don't know where. Last year, I went to this event called Gen Z for Jesus in Texas. So that first day, I went to go help, with putting together some little things. And in one of the houses that I went to help in, there were circuit riders. And I had known about their music before, but that was it. I was kind of almost fangirling because I was oh my gosh, I know their music. This is crazy. And I ended up talking to some of the girls, and they were oh yeah, there's still time to sign up, you should totally do it. And I was what are you talking about? Sign up for what? And so I asked some more questions and started looking into it way more. And then after that week, when I came home, I started really thinking about it. And this feels like maybe I am supposed to do something like this. And I found out it's a YWAM DTS, which is YWAM is Youth with a Mission, and then DTS is Discipleship Training School. To do that, I prayed when I was 14 that I would be able to do that, and then ended up surrendering that plan and being okay, God, whatever you want me to do, it's fine. It doesn't have to be that. So I knew I wanted to do YWAM when I was younger. I didn't know if I really wanted to go far out of the country. I found out that Circuit Riders since it is a YWAM, it's in California. I can be there, and then the outreach is going to different college campuses in the country. It's a big step to go and learn and be gone for months without family. For me to do that, it's a big step, but for me to stay in the country, it feels so much more doable, I guess, and so much more okay, this is God, because He knows my heart and He knows what I would feel safe doing. And I was can you pray for me? I feel I need to ask someone to pray for me to know the answer if I'm supposed to do this or not. And as soon as she started praying, I just heard a yes, a really sure feeling that I was supposed to do it. And I was okay, this is crazy. And so then in February, I put in an application and I got accepted. yeah, it gave me so much time to prepare, like financially and mentally, which was totally what God knew I needed. But we are going to be going to different college campuses and preaching and leading worship and teaching other people how to do all that. So I will be living in California in a house with about 10 to 15 other girls, and for the first 3 months. And then during that part, which is the DTS, I will be learning how to share the gospel and share about Jesus anywhere I go. And I'll be learning how to put together a message and actually learn how to get in front of people and say what I think about Jesus. And this is exciting to me, I think mostly because I'll be able to really dive into the word more than normal, and I'll have that discipline more to actually learn about Jesus and speak about him and know how to do all that. That's about 3 months, and then the next 3 to 4 months I'll be going with a team. I'll carry the love, and so I'll be with this team of people, and we'll be going to different colleges. But since I found out in February, well, God told me in October last year, I had all this time to work for what I need and financially, and I got over half of what I need, but there's still a little bit that I need to be 100% fully, completely covered without any stress about I'm gonna get there and how I'm gonna live and food and just things like that. Yeah. Also, if anything, I would just love prayer. Just that I get all my finances covered and that I get my prayers answered that I prayed for going into this. Just, yeah.
Yeah.